I'm going to go on the record by predicting no attempt by the United States for any peace or cessation of violence or a ceasefire in Iran, nor any blockade by the US Navy will result in anything of significance that the US can claim to be a success or a win. President Trump, with his decision to attack Iran with Israel, delivered a strategic military defeat to America, has accelerated the demise of the US empire, and this strategic military defeat has damaged America's ability to project power around the world that allowed it for decades to literally be the dominant superpower with no competitor. What we are witnessing is the new architecture drawing of the new global world order, ladies and gentlemen. And this new global world order being redefined, its map being drawn from scratch, is now factoring in new models of politics, geopolitics, cyber, geopolicyber, economics, and on levels of alliances and benefits and sovereignty questions. And here's why. What we are witnessing is the new architecture drawing of the new global world order, ladies and gentlemen. Background information. I have predicted for at least the last 20 years how geopolitics and cyber and the advent of technology is going to impact our lives. And virtually everything I've called has not only happened, but it's become like part of our day-to-day life, unfortunately. Plus, end of December 2024, I published a statement. It was audio and video, and it was chairman's statement. And basically it was talking about, and was my prediction, that the rule of law will be broken on unprecedented scale in America and around the world. And this was in anticipation of President Trump coming into office. He hadn't even arrived yet. He still had another 3-4 weeks. I would urge you to go to surreality.news and search chairman's statement to end of 2024. Why this prediction that I'm bringing to your attention now is critical, and why I am confident that even the next attempt or two of the theater of appearance, theater to make it look like we are negotiating in good faith to stop the war and bring normalcy back to the economics of America, which has been absolutely derailed, will fail. And there's a fundamental reason why that is. Let me just go also on the record by stating, President Trump, with his decision to attack Iran with Israel, delivered a strategic military defeat to America, has accelerated the demise of the US empire, and this strategic military defeat has damaged America's ability to project power around the world that allowed it for decades to literally be the dominant superpower with no competitor. What we are witnessing is the new architecture drawing of the new global world order, ladies and gentlemen. And this new global world order being redefined, its map being drawn from scratch, is now factoring in new models of politics, geopolitics, cyber, geopolicyber, economics, and on levels of alliances and benefits and sovereignty questions. The decision by President Trump to attack Iran with Israel, and after more than 5 weeks, failing to deliver on the strategic goals of that attack, has delivered a strategic military defeat on America that has been unseen in recent decades. This is not being unpatriotic. This is about being realistic and assessing the risks and the shortcomings in a manner that allows us to figure out how do we address this. That strategic military defeat, ladies and gentlemen, that only happened at the hands of President Trump is potentially irreversible. And that potentiality is critical because it requires few things, specific things that we must do as Americans to change the course. Otherwise, outcome becomes irreversible. This new architecture of this new world order and the map being drawn could not have happened had the US not suffered this strategic military defeat in its attack on Iran. So, in my extended video, I will give the analysis as to why I'm coming to that conclusion, why I'm making those predictions. I will also address why Californians and Americans have a single only play left to try and recover what's left of America, which is to boot out all Democrat and Republican candidates and incumbents in the next election. I will also talk about why Americans must be more careful about who's bringing them the message about the no kings, because they are at risk of falling into the same trap we have fallen into for the last 3 decades plus of the choices of elected officials of shit versus shittier. We vote for shit to prevent shittier winning, only to discover they are the shittiest. I will dig deeper into that one as well for the benefit of the audience. Plus, I'll be addressing why some of the new initiatives I am launching, not only as a candidate, but also as the chair of the MLI group, to champion the cause of advancing kindness to replace greed on a global scale. I will also address why businesses, not only in the US, but all over the world, must reassess their strategic positioning and their operational structures vis-a-vis this new global world order and the architectural map being drawn as we speak, because they cannot afford to see the shift while they are still relying on a model that served their purposes in the days of the old world order. I will also address the topic of the national sovereignty insecurity and why businesses, not only in the US, but all over the world, must reassess their strategies. So if you are interested in watching the detailed video where I address all of these topics, and whether you are a national leader, an ordinary citizen, American or otherwise, or you are the CEO of a multinational or a small business, reach out to us. You know how to get to us, whether it's the MLI Group, Survivability News, or my candidacy website at Fatal for California Governor. Send us an expression of interest, and then to receive a link to detailed video where I address all of these topics. This is not going to be posted on either YouTube or anywhere else. We have no interest in clicks or monetizing it on Google for advertising revenue. We try to serve a different purpose. In the meanwhile, stay safe, look after yourself, and remember, kindness is stronger than greed. See you soon. Bye-bye.